Russia consists of 83 or 89 regions. They are also called federal subjects. According to Russia, it's 89 regions. According to the rest of the world, it's 83 regions. According to some people, 0 regions. So making these videos is not an easy task for somebody from Russia, because the geographical division of Russia is a hot topic these days. In this video I'm gonna be using the map demonstrated by the Embassy of Russia in Kenya. Basically I'm gonna try to sit on 2 chairs simultaneously in this video. So let's begin, ladies and gentlemen. Of all the federal subjects, which one should I start with? I was thinking and then came to the conclusion it should be the Jewish Autonomous Oblast. The existence of this region is a surprise for the bigger part of the audience. There is one more thing that you wouldn't expect, and this is the flag of this Jewish Autonomous Oblast. The oblast is located far from all the fun, and this is the actual flag that you cannot even wear outside. This video is a brief introduction to every region. So what can I say about this region in particular? There are only 800 Jewish people living there, while the population is 150,000, with the majority of ethnic Russians. Next, let's move to the republics of Russia. There are 22 republics. They all have titular ethnic groups and a bit more autonomy than oblasts, at least on paper. The first one will be Chuvassia, because I am from there. We have our own language. Let me say from 1 to 10 in Chuvash. I would say it's one of the most Russian republic, among with Mordovia and Tatarstan. If I had to show you just one image of Chuvassia, it would be this image. Adygea. In my household, we used to have a souvenir magnet from Adygea, so I thought that Adygea was some kind of mysterious place with waterfalls. And apparently it is so. Altai Republic. Stunning mountains, turquoise rivers and shamanic vibes. There is a hypothesis that Turkic people came from the Altai. Next to the Altai Republic, there is Altai Krai. They are distinct federal subjects with very different vibes. So Altai Krai is mostly flat. Altai Republic is mostly mountainous. In Altai Krai, 2.1 million people live, and in Altai Republic 10 times less. Bashkortostan. There is oil and that's it. Nothing else that I can think of. But hey, there is oil and nothing else that I can think of is the description of Russia for most of the people. But now you're getting a better picture. So let's move to the next one. Buryatia. Buddhism, shamans, wrestling and the world's deepest lake. On to the next one. Chechnya. This is the spawn of UFC fighters and the republic that makes everyone in Russia say, yeah, we're good, and change the subject. I've been recently reading Haji Murat by Lev Tolstoy, and I was curious. I wanted to go to the North Caucasus to see what's going on there. According to Leonti Mroveli, the word Caucasian is derived from the Vaynakh ancestor Kavkaz. Vaynakh people are Chechen and Ingush people, and Kavkaz is their ancestor. So now it only makes sense to tell you about another region in the North Caucasus, Ingushetia, a region that consists of Ingush people, the brotherly people of the Chechen people. They speak Ingush and Chechen respectively. The difference between these two languages is the same as between Spanish and Portuguese, so they are mutually intelligible. This is the smallest region of Russia if we don't count Moscow and St. Petersburg, because they are also considered to be regions. So I think we're gonna be stuck in the North Caucasus for some time, so get comfortable and let's go. Another republic in the North Caucasus, Dagestan, another spawn of the UFC fighters. Ethnically diverse region in the south of Russia consisting of Avars, Dargins, Kumyks, Lezgins and a few other ethnicities. If you like mountains, you gotta visit. Kabardino-Balkaria, home to the Europe's peak, Elbrus. No news are usually coming from there. They seem to just have a good time. And that's it. Kalmykia. And this one is not in the North Caucasus, but close. Lenin was Kalmyk. Did you know it? Back to North Caucasus, Karachay-Cherkessia, another place where nothing is happening. And that's the beauty of such places. Karelia. I've been there about 5 years ago. I was surprised that they use Finnish language there. Karelia is a home to many of Russia's lakes. Khakassia, another region where nothing is happening. Although the size of it is bigger than Denmark or Croatia. Komi Republic. It's so far north that even reindeer will need GPS. One of the largest republics in Russia, bigger than Norway. Mariel, home to Finno-Ugric Mari people. Spiritually, they are close to Dutch people. If not, then I can't explain why they would copy Amsterdam. Mordovia, another Finno-Ugric people, Mordvins. The capital of prisons in Russia, with 19 prisons in this small region. If you want to visit this region, make sure you do it voluntarily. Back to the North Caucasus. North Ossetia, Alania. I used to have a school friend from there. His name was Alan. They have a distinct accent. Let me play it.
Алло, да. Да в смысле ты меня долго ждешь? Я уже одеваюсь почти, ты чё гонишь, что? Сейчас еще пару минут, подожди, я сейчас выхожу уже. Да, там.
They speak Ossetian language, which is not far from Persian language, which is spoken in Iran. Sakha, the largest republic by area. One Sakha is the whole Western Europe by size. It's so big and cold, it makes Canada look like a tropical vacation spot. Besides, mammoths were just a recent history in Sakha. Tatarstan. This is the land of smart people, I would say. I had classmates from Tatarstan and they were smart. There is something in the water there, ladies and gentlemen. If you've noticed, I'm going by the alphabet. We are at T. The next one is Tuva. Tuva is renowned for the traditional throat singing and nomadic culture. They are wild over there, from a good perspective. But from a negative perspective as well. Tuva is the region with the highest crime rate in the country. Udmurtia, the place with a lot of redhead people. Just look at this map with the distribution of redheads. And this is the end of Russian republics, but it's just the beginning. The next on the line is Russian oblasts, which are the same as regions or provinces. Oblasts are the most common type of a federal subject. These are mostly Russian-speaking areas without the ethnic autonomy of republics. They vary in size, from tiny Kaliningrad to massive Siberian ones. There are 25 oblasts that are basically the same. They consist of churches, plain fields, and a slightly ugly capital with a big, beautiful historical downtown. And these are the following. Just visit one of them and you've basically visited all of them. It was 25 oblasts, which is about the half of the total oblasts there are. Let's look at the map. This is how many regions I have already covered. Let's move forward to the next oblasts. Amur Oblast. I've been there in May of 2022. There is an interesting border there with China. Besides, there are a lot of tigers in the region. Look at this beautiful Amur tiger. In another part of Russia there is Arkhangelsk Oblast. The winters there are so long, even the polar bears apply for seasonal depression leave. It's a gateway to the Russian Arctic. The next one is, I had to double check, Astrakhan Oblast. I used to mistake this Astrakhan Oblast with the previous Arkhangelsk Oblast. They are located on the different climates. Astrakhan Oblast is in the south. This is Russia's watermelon and caviar capital. And guess what? There is a desert in Russia. It's called Rin Desert. Now we have Chelyabinsk Oblast. It is a place that survived a meteor in 2013. Now we have Kaliningrad Oblast, and it's a bit more interesting. This region holds about 90% of the world's amber deposits. This place is great for amber and awkward for road trips. I've been there 6 years ago. I remember buildings were cute. Irkutsk Oblast. There is Lake Baikal there, and that's it. Although this region is big and it would make Texas feel like a studio apartment. Kemerovo Oblast, one of Russia's top coal producer, industrial powerhouse. In other words, nothing interesting. Leningrad Oblast. This one is a bit more interesting. Everyone knows St. Petersburg. They have interesting buildings and history. Leningrad Oblast is the area that surrounds St. Petersburg. Mostly it's just a home to villages and small cities from where people commute to St. Petersburg to work. But it also has historical cities like Gatchina that has a palace. Magadan Oblast. The nature there is amazing. I came there as a tourist in May of 2022 and I felt like this place is definitely not for tourists. And I remember they had a playground with wires on it. Moscow Oblast. It exists solely as a hub for people that work in Moscow during the day and come back to sleep to Oblast during the night. Murmansk Oblast. I've been there in May of 2021. They had the northernmost McDonald's, now it's called Vkusnaya Tochka, and it was very dull. If I could show you one picture of Magadan Oblast, it would be just a grey rectangle. We have two oblasts now, Novgorod Oblast and Pskov Oblast. It is one of those regions with churches, plain fields and a slightly ugly capital, but it's one of the oldest ones in Russia. Recently I found an interesting video on X, check it out. If you wanna go to this church and playfields oblast, then these two definitely must be the choice. Next, again, we have two oblasts, Novosibirsk Oblast and Tomsk Oblast. They are also one of those church and plain fields oblasts, but they are in Siberia. Both lie on the West Siberian plain and both have many churches. Russia must be very hard for geoguessers. Now we have two oblasts and one krai. Rostov Oblast, Volgograd Oblast and Stavropol Krai. They are similar to the previous ones, but they are located on the south of Russia and they are known to be hot during the summer. Now we have two oblasts, Omsk Oblast and Orenburg Oblast. These are the so-called middle of nowhere. No one wants to live there. Sakhalin, the nature is great there. I've been there 4 years ago. Unfortunately, there is no infrastructure, no tourism industry, and everything is expensive. It could have been a great tourist destination. Sverdlovsk Oblast and Perm Krai are the regions where people live, due to the large reserves of metals in the ground, which create a huge magnetic field and affect people. It's not my words, but the words of one of the most popular politicians in Russia. So, Sverdlovsk Oblast and Perm Krai are the region. Actually, I probably don't need to repeat it twice because you guys are not from this oblast and you understand everything without repeating. So, let's proceed to the next federal subjects. I have 12 more. Let's get to the krais. Krai is translated as a border, and it can also be translated as a land. Krasnoyarsk Krai. So this part is Siberia, and Krasnoyarsk Krai is its backbone. I've been to Krasnoyarsk in the summer of 2022 and I enjoyed it. This city is not the worst, it's probably in my top 10 of Russian cities. Of course, Krasnoyarsk is not the whole Krasnoyarsk Krai. The Krai stretches to the Arctics, with a few cities on the north, like for example Norilsk, which was classified as the most depressing city on earth. Next we have Primorsky Krai. I've happened to be there in the summer of 2021 and the city of Vladivostok felt lovely. The nature that surrounded was great. Khabarovsky Krai is next to the Primorsky Krai and it consists of taiga in the south and also in the middle, and it consists of Arctic tundra on the north. The capital is boring. Zabaikalsky Krai. 4 or 5 years ago I used to publish a lot of street interviews from the capital of this krai, Chita. The city seemed to be dull. You can see it in these screenshots. The nature is of course interesting in this krai. There is Chara sands. It looks very interesting. Krasnodar krai. If there is a heaven in the world, then it must be Krasnodar krai. That's a popular saying in Russia. South of the krai is a pretty interesting place. There is the city called Sochi, which is located in the subtropical climate, and only a few kilometers from the city, snowy ski resorts start. Kamchatka. That's where the mother nature shows off. Volcanoes, bears the size of cars, hot springs. Being in Petropavlovsk-Kamchatsky, the capital of Kamchatka, I remember I couldn't see the horizon from any point of the city, because the city is surrounded by the mountains. Let's proceed to the autonomous okrugs of Russia. Chukotka. Google Maps has only a few photos of this big region. It is the place where middle of nowhere gets jealous, and it so far is that when Moscow wakes up, Chukotka is already thinking about tomorrow. Next we have Nenets okrug. It is one of Russia's least popular federal subjects, with about 42,000 people. Reindeer herding remains a core way of life for many Nenets. Next we have Khanty-Mansi okrug. That's where the ground is soaked in black gold. It is the backbone of Russian economy, which produces about half of Russia's oil. Next we have another okrug, Yamalo-Nenets. It produces around 90% of Russia's natural gas. All of these okrugs survive with the help of reindeers. And this is it about okrugs. We have two more federal subjects left, St. Petersburg and Moscow. Let's start with St. Petersburg. It is a beautiful city built on the swamp. It has a history and a lot of beautiful buildings. When people say that they want to visit Russia, they usually mean only this one city. Next we have Moscow, the final federal subject. This is the capital and my favorite city in Russia. It has everything you will need. Old European architecture in the center, business buildings a little further from the center, and a lot of parks. Whew. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you think. It was Daniel, bye bye.